Hi and welcome back to Cabin Organic. In this video I'm going to show you how I took a tiny little neglected patch of garden and turned it into a thriving and productive herb and tea garden. Here's an old shot of the cabin. It looks a little different now, but I just wanted to show you exactly where the herb and tea garden is located. If you look at the stairs going up the cabin, just to the very left, you'll see this tiny little patch of earth, and that is the herb and tea garden. Here's a few before shots of what this tiny little garden looked like when I first bought this cabin 6 years ago. As you can see, there's a checkerboard pattern of paving stones, and at the time of this shot, it didn't appear that very much was growing in there. This project took place in early spring, and the first thing that I did was clean up the area and then remove the paving stones. Then I placed some natural stones in kind of an S-shaped pattern there, and these are going to be stepping stones for when I need to get in there to weed and to harvest. Then I selected some herbs from the garden center and got planting. I believe that first year I planted oregano and parsley and lavender and 3 different kinds of thyme and some sage as well. As I worked on this project in the spring, there were some plants that were starting to grow in this little patch of land, and so I was really thrilled to see some tulips come up. I had some snowdrops, I had paper whites, columbine, and daffodils. I also discovered that I had a few different kinds of hostas growing in here as well. And here's our resident frog. Here's a shot a few months in, so the plants are still quite small, and they didn't grow very big or bushy that first year. By the second year, the third year, the fourth year, as I said, I've been here 6 years, the plants have just grown big and bushy. Here's a close-up of some columbine. And of course I planted chives, which are my absolute favorite. I harvest these all summer long and I dry them in great big glass jars for the winter. Just this past summer we had a lot of volunteer Johnny Jump Ups spring up in the garden. So we left them alone and enjoyed their beauty and sometimes harvested their flowers to put on cakes. At the top of the herb and tea garden, Brian built a great big square raised bed, and that is where I plant my peppermint patch. And here's a parting shot of the herb and tea garden. Even though it's a really small garden, it actually yields a lot of herbs. We use them fresh throughout the spring, summer, and fall, and I also dry them for use over the winter. I also use them for making tinctures and herbal oils and salves. And so this little garden is actually a powerhouse in providing a lot of our nutrition and medicine. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and will subscribe to see more of our projects here at Cabin Organic.